back to the Influencer series. This time I'll be meeting up with none other than Roseanna Croft from Roseanna Croft Jewelry, who is an inspiring and pioneering jewelry designer. She's based out in Blakeney, where she designed some of the most breathtaking pieces for members of the royal family and esteemed delegates from all across the world, creating an absolute beautiful array of bespoke pieces. Roseanna is renowned for a unique style that she brings to the industry. She's defiant and she is determined more than ever to make her business a success in such a competitive market as the jewelry industry. Roseanna goes into the times where it's been smooth sailing in her first year to the turbulent times of owning a shop and dealing with all the overheads that come with it. Now she goes into talking about cash flow is king, knowing your numbers, learning about money, and also knowing yourself and finding yourself. So sit back, get a pen and paper, and take note as we get started on our influencer series.
Peak District. I was born in Matlock. I have lived all over the world.
Oh, okay, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Where has been the most exciting place for you to live?
Brisbane was my favourite place.
Where do you feel that you've developed the most as a person?
Oh, do you know what? Probably. So when I was 9, I moved to Scotland, and I grew up in Scotland.
Okay.
And then I've moved all over cities throughout the UK and then Australia, but moving back here to a place. So I've been back here 4 years. And moving back here. Me moving back here and knowing absolutely nobody, starting a business, this is where I've developed most of the person.
Okay. And the business is Roseanna Croft Jewelry.
Yeah. So Roseanna Croft is obviously me, and Roseanna Croft Jewelry is our brand name. Yeah.
Okay. And when you say how many people are in the business?
So there's myself and Laura. Laura helps me with everything. She's amazing.
Okay. Double team then.
Yeah. So Laura takes charge of things like the social media, and she writes a lot of our blogs.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
And she kind of helps with building relationships with her brand ambassadors and things like that.
Okay. How did you guys decide who would be doing what in the business?
Basically anything that I don't have time to do or can't do. Laura, can you just help me out with this?
Yeah.
So Laura came to work for me in December last year.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have got through December without her, because December is my busiest month.
It is going to be, isn't it? Okay.
So I had no idea.
Yeah.
She helped with everything from seeing customers to packaging up jewellery. So she just kind of does.
Give me an idea of how busy you can get.
You don't really get a day off at Christmas in December. It's very rare that you can just enjoy, and everything else to do with the business gets forgotten about. So marketing gets forgotten about in December because I'm just sat at the bench making stuff.
Oh, okay. And so you work in your workshop on different materials and stuff like that. I found a few of these quite interesting. So like morganite. What is morganite?
Oh, morganite is beautiful.
Morganite.
Yeah. So it is. It's from the beryl.
I can see your face coming alive with that. You're just like, morganite. Look.
Morganite is my favourite. It's probably my favourite gemstone.
Yeah.
After sapphires and diamonds, but.
We'll get to those.
But morganite is like a peachy colour. So it's a pale pink peachy colour, and it's absolutely beautiful in rose gold, but it's beryl. Right. So emerald and aquamarine are also beryl. They're just different colours.
Okay.
So,
And where would you get that? Is it like rare to a particular country, continent?
You can get them in a few different continents.
Yeah, and is it just a case of just the color that excites you about it, or is it the history? Yeah, so just
I love
that,
the colour.
and is it quite rare to get that particular color?
So there are different.
So you got like white gold, you got all that,
Yeah.
and is it set within those same brackets, just like different ores, aren't they?
Yeah. So morganite, the colour of morganite just goes so beautifully with rose gold.
Oh, okay.
It's just that kind of. It's really romantic.
Yeah, rosy.
Rosy,
like,
blushy.
I'm just looking
just
at it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And I actually brought a morganite back with me from Australia.
Okay.
And I turned it into one of our couture pieces.
Wow.
I sat with it for 3 years before I did anything with it, because I just looked. It was a cushion cut morganite, absolutely beautiful. About 5 carats, and I just didn't know what to do with it. Eventually I set it into a beautiful mandala shaped design with diamonds surrounding it, and I sold it at Christmas time. And when I sold it, I was like, I feel like I've just sold a child. But I'm so pleased. Like, the lady who bought it absolutely couldn't take her eyes off it when she saw it. Couldn't take her eyes off it. She had to have it.
And is that what got you into like designing jewelry?
It's the stories that design tells, and it's I love to be able to make something and then kind of start with a lump of metal and design, and then it turns into this beautiful creation that means so much to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
That's pretty much a talent in itself, isn't it? Is that like a hidden ability that you just stumbled
I never really called myself a creative until recently. And I don't know why, because I've never really thought of it as a talent. I've thought of it as, this is just what I do. This is just what I do for a living. But the more I talk to people, and the more the business develops, I think, actually, you know, it is a talent. Nobody has got the same design style as me. Nobody has got, yes, we might be similar, but if you gave me and, so my uncle's a goldsmith, so if you gave me and my uncle a design brief, we would both come up with 2 very different things. So
it's a matter of perspective, isn't it?
It's a matter of perspective, and I think the more I realise that, the more I think, actually,
you are a creative.
I am a creative.
I'd definitely put you as a creative without a shadow of a doubt.
I know.
It's just, you know, for that it's imagination. You know, I don't know exactly how it comes to you, but like I can imagine like a piece of ore or a stone just coming to you, and you have to then sit in it and look at it for 3 years.
For 3 years.
For 3 years before you do anything.
Basically.
And that is a true art. It's a true talent. So what about the ring on your hand?
I love this.
Okay,
it's my favourite.
That looks gorgeous. So is this one of yours?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
So this.
Walk me through tell me the story.
So it is. This is. I made a beautiful salon sapphire ring for a lady. And this actually uses the same salon sapphires that were in her ring, because I love the sapphires. I love the colour of them. So then I kind of thought I started playing around with the shapes. So we've got all different shapes in there, and it's basically it's called stained glass, because it's like a window. That's what I see it as, and I just like the shapes and how they all kind of sit together, and the different shades of different shades. So I'm very much I love pale blues. I love blues, and we've got a big, nice big diamond in there and some pearls. I really like the colour and the graduation of the different hues.
Yeah, and with this one, how long did it take you to make?
Well, so the design is something that I've had in my head for years. I love the shape, and I've never really. But again, it's one of those things where I never really knew what to put in it, and do I use sapphires or maybe rubies? Anyway, so Minimum 6 weeks
Yeah.
from design to finished product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how usually people come in. Would they say, "Hey, Roseanna, my story is I just love my wife, and we met on holiday in Spain, sunset, and all these sort of things." So is that what people often come to you and say, and then you've got the job,
and then we go from there. So I have the job of taking this beautiful story and putting it down on paper in gemstones and metal.
Okay.
And it's really nice. It can be quite challenging sometimes when people come in and have no idea what they want.
Exactly. Yeah. So now this is really what a lot of people do struggle with, especially if you're providing a bespoke service. How did you very first start out with saying, "I'm gonna go with designing jewelry," and how did you go about finding your very first customer?
So I decided I was going to design jewellery 10 years ago when I realised I hated fashion design because I hated sewing.
Okay.
So I thought, right, I'm going to, anyway, I went through college and learned how to design and create from that design. And then it took me a couple of years within the industry and retail and all of this before I got a job as a goldsmith, and from there I was doing other people's designs. So I was creating other people's designs, which is amazing and a great skill, and I really enjoyed doing that, but I wanted to design my own stuff. So I would always at the weekends design and make my own stuff anyway.
Brilliant.
And take them to markets and sell them. And this is while I was still in Australia. And then I moved back to England, and I thought, right, well, I'm going to do it on my own.
While you just touched down in Derby, and you just
touched down. A week later, my business plan was written, and here we go.
Exciting. Okay.
Yeah. Because I did it through the Prince's Trust, so you have to go with business plan and all of this.
Brilliant.
So
would you recommend the Prince's Trust?
Yeah. If you've got no idea how to start a business, absolutely. The support you get given is incredible. I now go, I'm a young ambassador for them, so I go and do talks for them, and I like to kind of give back in any way I can because of the help and mentoring I've had over the last 4 years.
Oh, okay.
So how did I find my first customer?
Yeah. So you've gone through the Prince's Trust, you've got your business plan sorted, you've done the panel, the scary panel. The scary panel. It's not scary at all. They do hype it up though. They go like, oh, you might not make it alive. You watch Dragon's Den. No, don't watch it.
Basically. So came out. I opened a shop straight away.
Yeah.
So having a shop quite easy. People walk past, but it did take me a long time before I started getting my own customers. So I started off doing subcontracting work for other people, a lot of jewellery repairs because everybody needs their jewellery fixing. And I got out networking, I got out meeting people. All of my clients come through word of mouth.
Really?
At the time being,
yeah. At the time, yeah.
No, well, they still do.
Still do now, word of mouth.
They still do. It's all word of mouth.
And who's your type of clientele?
My clients aim towards the higher end of the market. So,
I'd imagine with those price tags.
Yeah. So, but in saying that, people think that bespoke automatically means more expensive, and it doesn't. We work around our client's budget, so even if you only have £500, we can still work with that.
Okay.
So,
but as a business,
we're kind of
and what made you decide where your target audience is going to be? What gave you the idea? Obviously, with the Prince's Trust, They helped you narrow it down.
Yeah, so they helped me narrow it down. It has changed over the last 4 years. So I started out making sterling silver pieces.
Okay.
And now, and as I've developed and as the business has developed, we are into more fine jewellery.
Okay.
And I work more with the precious metals and precious gemstones, whereas 4 years ago I was very much semi-precious and silver. So my target audience has grown with that.
Yeah.
I think it's what sits well with you, and what sits well, like what your aspirations are, I think.
Yeah. And also networking.
And networking.
What was networking like for you at the time?
Very, very scary.
Yeah.
Networking was scary, but now, and it's nerve-wracking walking into a room of people that you don't know. I went to 2 networking events last week, and you still get the kind of butterflies when you just have to walk up to somebody and say, "Hi, I'm Roseanna. What do you do?" But networking is invaluable to a business owner. The people that you meet, they can become your support network. They can become your friends. They can become your clients. You just never know, and you don't know what opportunities might arise for you. So through networking, I have got a really nice event coming up next week.
Oh, bro.
A private members club in Leicester.
Exciting.
And that wouldn't have come about if I didn't put myself out there and go networking.
Yeah. Okay. And with the business growing, what year was this at the time when you changed from precious metals?
Yeah.
Sorry,
semi-precious.
semi-precious metals, then up to the precious metals. What year was that? Like, how far was that in?
It was. So I decided that I wanted to start working with more finer pieces in about 2016. So a year after.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So a year after, business is. Would you say is booming, or would you say it's at a steady rise?
It's at a steady. It's for the last 4 years. It's been at a steady rise.
Okay.
So my first year went by without any hiccup really whatsoever.
No way. Okay.
No way.
Now, what would you say that's down to?
I would say it's down to I didn't have any expectations. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had no expectations really, so I couldn't really fail.
Okay.
The one thing I did know was that my lease on the shop was tied in for 5 years.
Okay.
So I have to make this work.
So you had to, you're committed. Do you feel like that was one of the main drivers to keep you going? Because has there been a situation where you felt like it was make or break?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Could you describe that?
Yeah. So the shop has definitely been an anchor for me, because I think I would have probably pivoted a couple of times, but I'm really pleased I didn't, and I'm pleased I stayed on the path that I'm on. But so there's been times cash flow is a major issue in any business. Cash flow is king. If there's one thing I would tell anybody, it's from the day dot. Know your numbers.
So how do you keep track of your numbers?
With wine.
With lots of wine.
How do I keep track of my numbers? I use Xero, and I track every penny I spend, incoming, outgoing, personal and business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Through Xero.
I do it on an old-fashioned spreadsheet, and I say spreadsheet, there are no formulas in it whatsoever. But then all my bank stuff uploads onto Xero. Yeah. But it's just so that, because I've always told myself I'm no good with numbers, which is a limiting belief. So I always tell myself I'm no good with numbers, and now I'm making myself know my numbers, making myself learn about money, because it's so important. And these cash flow issues I have had over the last 4 years are, if I'd have paid more attention to where the money was going and where it was coming from, then they may or may not have happened.
Okay. I love that, by the way, because a lot of people first thing they say is, I'm no good with numbers.
Oh.
And it's like, that is you like reinforcing the fact that you're not good with numbers. Just because you might not feel confident with them doesn't mean that you'll never ever get better. So that skydiving. Why?
Do you know what? I love that. I'm really scared of heights, but I love the thought of how I'll feel after.
Yes.
The achievement.
Yes.
And the sense of, wow, if I can jump out of a plane, I can literally do anything. And yeah, so SmartWorks, we've pledged to raise £5,000 for them in 2019.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to think of really interesting ways to raise money for them.
Well, that's one.
That's one.
What was the choice?
So we've got a couple of, so we've already had an event and had a really nice raffle, and we raised £350 doing that. But skydive was one. Abseiling down, is it the McLaren building in Birmingham?
Nice. Okay.
That was another one. I absolutely do not want to do that.
That would be, geez. Well, at least it's a short distance.
Yeah, well, it's shorter distance, but no, that does not do it for me at all. I'd much rather free fall, you know, and then at least I won't know about it if it all goes wrong. But abseiling was an option. I don't really fancy that. But we're going to have a big charity dinner at the end, probably towards end of summer.
In the summer sometime.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it going to be in Birmingham?
We're not sure where it's going to be because we've got lots of beautiful stately homes around here, so we might have it just outside Derby.
Okay.
But also, you know, I don't know. We're undecided where it's going to be.
Okay. In terms of morning routines, do you have any?
Yes.
Okay.
So I always try and wake up at 5.
You're the 5 o'clock club, are you?
Because I find that when 9 o'clock hits, it's all systems go. So I like to have a couple of hours to myself in the morning.
Yeah.
So I get up, I meditate, I visualise.
Wow.
I then generally do some form of exercise.
Okay. At home or gym?
No, I like to go out and do it. So this morning I've been to a hot yoga class.
I tried hot yoga.
I love it.
For the very first time. Woman almost killed me.
Yeah.
I was like, did not expect the
to be that
level that Roseanna, I was dripping.
Yeah.
I was everywhere, every orifice was just absolutely oozing, and I'm just like thinking, how incredibly strong are these women in here? How long have you been doing that for?
So I've been doing yoga for about 4 years,
wow.
4 or 5 years, but the hot yoga I only started a few months ago.
Okay.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, I just love it.
I know exactly what you mean. When you get out, you just
satisfying.
You're bouncing.
Yeah.
You're literally bouncing.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
and then so when you finish hot yoga, it's 45 minutes, is it, or something?
An hour, yeah. So I've done my run and my yoga or whatever, and then I come back, have a decent breakfast, and then start planning my day. Get ready, start planning my day. I'm quite lucky. I don't take forever to get ready. So that's about breakfast, get ready, half an hour. Start diaries out. I've generally thought about what I need to do the night before.
Okay.
And then I'm into it. Check the emails. Cross off anything urgent. And then it's generally either client meetings or making jewellery.
Yeah. Okay. And is it kind of the same pretty much Monday to Friday, or do you dedicate? It's not. It's never. Okay.
It's never the same. I try and have a schedule that I stick to. So Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm at the shop and I'm making jewellery.
Yes.
That's. I try to stick to that. But then, you know, a meeting might slip in here, or there might be one there. You know, I generally work weekends, so if I work weekends, I try and take some time off in the week. I know 2 days are the same for me, ever. And I love it.
That's what you love?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Brilliant, brilliant.
Well, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much once again for joining us on our Influencer series.